You're listening to Where You Live with Gene and Tony.
Welcome back to Where You Live. We're broadcasting live from the Concierge Landscape Studios. We're also brought to you this hour by Extreme Exteriors. Remember, if you're looking for quality workmanship and attentive customer service, call the folks at Extreme Exteriors. They won't give you a sales job. They will give you thoughtful and a consultative approach to all your maintenance needs. That's Extreme Exteriors. Give them a call at 763-441-1334. Tell them Gene and Tony sent you. And if you're just joining us this show today, we're asking the question, what is reasonable? And we've got a couple of topics coming up here. We're going to be asking, is it reasonable for an HOA to be able to foreclose on their members? We think so, but someone, again, this time in the state of North Carolina, says no. We're going to get into that. And then we have a homeowner who is, or a listener to the show, is asking the question, what is reasonable? What should I look for when before I sign on the dotted line in purchasing a home in a condominium or townhome association?
Be ready to call us if you have a comment or a question, 651-289-4488, or email Gene here in the studio at gene@ncmgi.com.
Mm-hmm. And, actually, before we get into this next article here, our producer has a question. Bill, you had something you wanted to ask?
Yes, I sure did. And I have a buddy who lives in an HOA, and they have an on-site pool, and they also have a on-site tennis court and a basketball court, and a parking lot for people to park in. But he was told that if he brings any friends, he has to okay it with the HOA. And also the parking lot, you have to check in the parking lot. And I was wondering, is that something that's common in an HOA? So if anybody who's not living in the HOA resident, if they wanted to park there just to visit a friend, they still have to okay it with one of the HOA residents who's a board member.
And if they want to if someone wants to bring friends to the pool or the tennis courts, they have to talk to the homeowners association.
Yeah, one of the
first.
HOA residents. Yeah.
So, do they have on-site management here? So, like an office that people can go to at any time?
And the office is it's one of the HOA residents' house.
Okay, and that's probably a board member, right?
Correct. Yeah.
On the board. Okay.
And so when they ask for this permission then to park, do they get something to hang on the...
That's what I asked. I said, do you get a pass? And he says, no, you just get an okay. It's like, really? Okay. That's no verification, It's like you can just basically say, I got an okay. And no, you didn't. So that's why I was confused. I'm like, shouldn't there be some form of tag or something that they at least give out?
That would probably be a good idea to avoid confusion.
Yeah, you would think.
No, but the first question, can they do it? The answer is, unfortunately, yes, they can.
Well, yes, they can. Have you ever come across this, Gene? Have you ever worked with a property that used this kind of method or system?
Not this method, because this presumes that the individual is always going to be home. And, you can't always rely on that. What we've done, it is reasonable for an association where parking is really tight to make sure that the only people parking there are guests of a homeowner. And in one association that I'm managing now in Minneapolis, where it's really tight, they're allowed a couple of guest parking passes that actually just hang on the rear view mirror.
Each owner gets a couple of passes.
They have a couple. They keep them.
They have a tag.
And when and when guests come over, they give them the tag that hang in the rear view mirror while they're there, and then they give it back to the...
It makes sense, and I think what would make sense about Bill's story, it depends on what this association has been experiencing. It sounds to me like your association you're talking about, Gene, they're in an urban area where there is a hospital, isn't there, nearby?
Yes,
and
there
medical
is.
facilities. So they tend to get people drifting into their parking lot that have nothing to do with the homeowners
and parking
association.
is premium
and parking
everywhere.
is difficult.
Yeah.
I would venture to guess that the association Bill is referring to maybe has had some problems with neighbors coming over to use the pool. I mean, that don't live in the association,
Sure.
coming over to use the tennis courts, parking in their parking lot. I could see an association going this direction if they are having problems with unauthorized people using their facilities.
Yeah, I can see what it is they're trying to do. I don't think, though, if the part of the question, Bill, is this the most effective? I don't think it's the most effective because, like I said, it presumes that the person's going to always be there. Now, I've always known in most homeowner associations, there's always one or two people that never seem to go anywhere. So it is a good chance that that you'll always find them.
Because they're standing in the window looking at what's going on. No, but I seriously think, what else could this community do? They don't have an office on the property, probably. They can't afford to hire an employee to do this. They have a problem.
Yes.
Let's assume they have a problem. I think this is kind of a creative solution.
Yeah. Well, and again, I guess I would go with the plan that the association that I mentioned has. Give every homeowner
A parking tag.
several
Yeah.
parking tags.
Yeah.
When it comes to use of the pool, usually I'm also thinking most municipalities, they require, well, it's state law. They require that there be a fence around the pool and that it's locked. The only people that will have keys will be people who are owners of the
Owners in the association.
in the association. So that
Yeah,
really
good
cuts
point.
down on someone just
Good point.
hopping, hopefully hopping the fence and just using it. And so
Yeah.
the people that are coming into the pool are usually coming in with other people who live there because they wouldn't have a key otherwise.
Yeah.
But yes, it's
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that there was good reason for them to.
Oh, I'm sure there was.
To initiate these rules.
Well, what do you think, folks? Is that the best way to handle it, or do you have an association that handles things differently?
Yeah, call us 651-289-4488.
Well, let's take a beginning look here at this next article, and this is from North Carolina. There is a state representative who is saying that, and this is the lament. Man, we hear this.
We're hearing it more and more.
More and more.
More and more states.
People saying homeowner associations are out of control. And this representative claims that an HOA's power to be able to force homeowners out of their home for unpaid dues should not be allowed. This representative says just paying your mortgage doesn't mean your home is safe. If you belong to an HOA and you don't pay your dues, they can foreclose on your home. This all, however, though, folks, is perfectly legal, but some lawmakers are now hoping to change that. Representative Rodney Moore said it's gotten out of control, and they basically have become a mini government unto themselves. And he went on to say that I don't feel that HOA should have that power to arbitrarily foreclose on a homeowner if that's the only issue, he said. Now, there was a family that used to live in the Briar Creek Country Club home, HOA, and after falling on tough times, they were kicked out of their home because they didn't pay their mortgage, and also because of their HOA foreclosing on for unpaid assessments. And the HOA just threw us out of our home, said this Leader family who lived in the Briar Creek Country Club. And the management company for Briar Creek said that they tried to work with this family and offered a payment plan and even tried extending the foreclosure process several times, but ultimately this family could not pay, so the HOA moved forward with foreclosure. So this was the case that the state representative Moore had brought up, and to me, I think this is a bad example for him. This is a great example of an HOA and management company, I think, Tony, trying to work something out.
That's right.
For
That's
a
right.
family.
The management company also said it's sad, but the association has an obligation to run itself in a fiscally responsible manner, and letting people not pay their dues is not responsible to all the homeowners.
That's right.
So I do think that the association did as much as they could to work with these folks and help them overcome this problem. But the bottom line is there is a reason why homeowners associations are given the power to have a lien on the unit and foreclose on the unit.
Yeah. And let's talk about that in a little bit, but we've got to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to explore this issue a little bit more. We'd love to hear from you folks. Give us a call, 651-289-4488 on Where You Live with Gene and Tony on AM 1280 The Patriot.